Yo, 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 peeps. Always does this. I think my volume's turned up or something. It seems like a little louder than normal. Yeah, it was. We good now. The trick is that you run over here. Oh, come on, get off of her. Usually that guy gets on me. Whatever, we're good. I think. We can get this pipe off real quick. Stop interrupting me, please. Okay, good. We're slightly to the right of where we should be, but it seems to be fine. Yo, how's it going, Norg? It's not afternoon. It's morning still. Well, for me. Is it like nighttime for you? Oh. I guess it's not that many hours difference. I don't know the difference between like UK time and Eastern time. But yeah, it's probably what, 2 there? Something like that? 2 p.m.? But yeah, I just woke up like an hour ago and went to bed early yesterday because I wasn't feeling well, and I feel great today, so I don't know what's going on. I was up for a little while in the middle of the night, but I was like, I don't really plan on being up late, so I don't really want to stream or anything. Speaking of schedule, so yeah, in a couple hours, I'm gonna go get lunch. And then I have an appointment at 3. I gotta leave for that at like 2:30-ish. So I'll probably stream, I don't know, between like 11:30 and 2:30. A few hours there. I don't know if I'll be like up for streaming after the surgery, but I don't really have any plans after the surgery. Yeah, we did get a couple more Hildetorrs yesterday after we got like we're up to 7 total now. I can't remember if you were there for the 7th one or not, but I feel bad. I know this is like not like the most like entertaining thing, but at the same time, this is like the last thing that we're piping. Sorry about that. My apartment people were here. Oh, we got one. This isn't good. He's like behind the other. Okay, we're good. No. terrible. Whatever, we're still taking it for now. That looks perfect. That portal placement. Back to piping. I don't know. I probably won't ever like use it much, but I imagine like if I got like something like 75%, I'd be like really hard pressed not to use the rainbow stone or magic stone. Part of me just like wants to keep it like in my bank, you know, as I found it. But I don't know. I do want to like make it and like test it out and everything. It's very rare that you get like an actual weapon that you can use. So I don't know. Maybe this is a little different. You know. Maybe I'll just make this one just like so I can. I've never seen like anyone use one before. You know, kind of like Affinia or whatever. Everyone just uses like the Disc of Bravemen. I don't know if it's just because it's like that rare, or, you know. And obviously like Affinia, it's gonna be like even like rare because you can't pipe. I mean, if I got one with like 85 hit, like I'd be like hard pressed not to use the item. I've literally never even found like anything above 50% hit. But at the same time, like, you know, I haven't really done like many like Ruins 3 runs. And I have to check like every weapon. So I don't know if it's because like I slept wrong, but like the tendons like on my chest like are is like bothering me, like on my like left pectoral. Like if I like flex like my pecs, it kind of hurts. I don't know. It's like a little stiff or something. I don't know. Does it look cool like when it shoots out, or does it just like look like a normal Disca? So that'd be like another thing. Like using the cool looking weapons is always like a benefit. Like I use my demo comment like a lot just because it looks cool. It's like not even because I mean it does look it does do more damage than my mech guns, but barely. Yo, what up, Goneril? How's your hunting? Oh boy. I'm assuming it was a photon drop. I was talking to someone the other day, and he said he's gotten like 200 plus photon drops from hunting his SJS. And I'm just like, ow. I can't imagine. There you go, clock tower. Sorry, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Anything that's got like a, like a 1 in 1,000 drop rate, like you have to assume that you're gonna get a photon drop, you know? Like that's like sometimes like when I see a red box, don't get me wrong, I get excited because of red box, but I'm just like, oh, like in my mind, I'm just like, please don't photon drop me, please don't photon drop me, please don't, like, you know. Once I start farming ultimate ruins, I know what's gonna happen. Like even farming like ultimate mines, I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, there you go. There's one way to look at it. Except I don't think Clock is playing online. I do wish there was like a way for me to transfer like the stuff I'm finding to Affinia, but I'm pretty sure I can get online on like on a Silver Ant and shit hack, but I don't know if I like if I'm gonna play online, I'd rather play like V4. I'm pretty sure it's like not possible though. It does feel kind of weird though, like if you did like a completionist hunt on like Affinia or something, theoretically you could just like do whatever content, get photon drops, and then trade the photon drops for like the items. And if you're like doing a completionist hunt, you don't really need like high percents. So like like even like the rare stuff, like a double cannon or something, or like a heaven striker or psycho wand. Like, well, psycho wand's still expensive, but like they don't cost like nearly as much like when they don't have like any percents on them. Unless you're doing like a solo self-found thing, which would be kind of weird on like Affinia. That's the other thing I think about, like, instead of like doing like what Cloud's doing, you know, having like all the characters on version 3 and like trading between them. I thought about just getting on like version 4 if I ever make like another character. Damn it, I moved on accident. Please don't. Definitely messed that up. I played Bluebirds for quite a bit. Just like to change things up when I was getting like a little burnt out of version 3, but I've been like I haven't felt like burnt out like in like a long time on this game. I can't remember like what it was that like burned me out so much. But I think it was like, well, I know like Del Saber's like right arm like took like a lot out of me, but I think it was like that regime gear. I do like PSU, I just can't play that game solo. But I don't want to change right now. Also. Plus, my next change will be going back and beating Ori 2. Still like that game. I also, I plan on buying a VR headset next month. I don't know like when it'll be next month, but I don't know if I'm gonna stream that like at all. But I plan on playing Beat Saber. Halo to be the Ori. Ori in the Blind Forest. It's the first one is like one of my favorite games ever. The second one, I played like I want to say like a couple hours, and I don't like it as much. It's still definitely like really good, but I don't like it as much. It feels a lot like Hollow Knight actually, like the way they changed the combat up and everything. You know, I've never watched Stargate. Like, yeah, okay, so I've talked about this before, but I like on TV, like and like whatnot in movies, like I am a sucker for production quality. Like if I am like watching like a sci-fi thing, I cannot watch sci-fi things like where they have like shit production quality. And like I'm not like I watched like the old Dune movies and like all that stuff, but like you know, because like like Dune had like a good production quality for its time, you know. But like I tried watching like The Expanse, for example, and like it's got this like cheesy like green screen like feel like the whole time, and I'm just like I can't do this. Like it kind of like looks like bad. Like I don't know if it gets like better or not, but like, and plus like the story, like everyone sits there and like talks about how like Foundation like stole its story and like Dune stole its story, and I'm just like, one, Foundation is like the precursor to basically all sci-fi. Okay, so Dune stole Foundation's story, or part of it, anyways, and therefore like Expanse stole, you know, Dune and Foundation's story. It's not Foundation stealing Expanse's story. Like, just because the Foundation TV show came out later doesn't mean the book, you know, came out like way later. I mean, hell, like even Star Wars stole off of Foundation, like ideas off of it. I think Foundation is like one of like the best shows like ever. And it's like, it's crazy because like I'll talk to people about that show and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't like how the time jumps around." And I'm just like, dude, like what a fucking, I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, no, I'm a lot of the same way. I feel like I feel like a lot of games like they are too heavy-handed on the storytelling. It never feels like natural, you know, like in a lot of games. Like one of the worst things I think games do as far as storytelling goes is like they'll literally have like people, like this will be a cutscene, like it'll be like three people and it'll be like this, and it'll just have chat boxes, and then like Alicia will have a chat box, and then I'll have a chat box, and like over and over and over, and I'm just like, dude, that is not like a cutscene. It's like diet, like it's not natural feeling. It's just exposition dumping, you know. Like that's like when I was like playing Tales of Greece, like I'd skip like those campfire stories because like they didn't feel good like at all. Whereas like the actual like cinematic cutscenes, like I was watching those because like they're entertaining, you know. I like how like stuff like Dark Souls, like the other story, which I know like some people don't like that, some people do like it, but a lot of the storytelling in Dark Souls is done just based off like item descriptions, like, you know, and then like the world itself. Phantasy Star kind of has that same like vibe for part of it, but then like they go like a little heavy-handed too, like with like all the NPC dialogues. Yeah, those Guild Wars 2 cutscene. I mean, yeah, Guild Wars 2 has some good cutscenes, but some bad ones. Like where it's just like there'll be a chat box at the bottom of the screen, and then like portraits on like left and right. Like those ones, I'm just like, I can't do this. But it's actually got like actual cutscenes too. I don't know. A lot of that stuff too. It's like I know some people get like super enveloped like in like the lore, and they want to like listen like all that stuff and everything. Like Final Fantasy 14 probably does it the best, but even them, you know, they have like a lot of those standing around talking to each other cutscenes. Final Fantasy 16. Now that's most of that stuff. Like 90% of that story is shown in cutscenes that are like actually good. Like all those side quests, like a lot of those side quests, like they just like build on the world, and you don't really need to pay attention to those to get like the main story. It's just like world building, you know. I want Guild Wars 3, man. Where's my Guild Wars 3 at? I really wish I never played World of Warcraft and played Guild Wars 2 like more. I think Guild Wars 2 is like better in almost every aspect. Almost. Work in progress. No, I know it's a work in progress. It's just it's been a work in progress for 5 years now, from my understanding. Oh, have they? They've officially announced it by now, haven't they? Guild Wars 3. They announced it 7 months ago. Guild Wars 3 release date. It says within 3 to 6 years. So 2027. That is a long ways away. One of the best things that Guild Wars 2 does is like, you know, they release like those DLCs, but like the content from like the base game doesn't go away, you know? That's like always like WoW's issue when they turn like more into a theme park MMO. It's like this new expansion comes out and like you have like fuck all reason to like go back to like the old areas. And like, you know, this isn't like just like a WoW issue. Like Destiny 2 has like the same issue. And now he's like Destiny 2 is like straight up like removing old content just for the sake of like making the game world smaller. So like the install is the install smaller, and then like rotating like the old content and like updating them for like, you know, re-release raids basically. I mean, World of Warcraft kind of does like time walking too, but like I don't really think that's like the same extent. Stop shocking me. That's like when, you know, people always get confused, like, what do you mean by Classic Plus? And it's just like, exactly that, like, you know, like, they want, like, a version of, like, WoW, like, where, like, it's not pointless to go back to, like, these zones and do this stuff. Like, when you're clearing Naxxramas, you know, like, the last raid tier in the game, people still go back and do Molten Core because, you know, there's, like, Onslaught Girdle and Band of Akuria and you know, there's the two legendaries in there, the Thunder Fury and the Balfaros. Like, those things still hold up, like, even through Naxxramas loot. I think technically Onslaught Girdle gets replaced if I remember right, but side grade mate, I can't remember. Or hell, like, you know, people do BWL because Drake Fang Talisman and Rejuve Gem. Plus, like with 40 people, you know, it's hard to get like everyone like best geared in a couple weeks, couple months. Man, I really hope I get another freaking Hildetorrs before I go get lunch. And plus, like the other thing too, like you know, don't be wrong. Like obviously, like there's a power difference between like you know best in slot gear and like entry level 60 gear, but like an entry level 60 person can go to BWL. It's not like they're gonna like be like the worst person ever because you know like world buffs and like the gear isn't like that crazy difference if it's you know properly itemized and everything. You know, like, the main issue, like I think, like would arise, you know, with a classic plus system is, you know, like a character like a warrior who like already scales like absurdly well with like gear, and like you know, by next Ramus, like you're basically like, stacking like warriors, and you have like warriors who are like the top of the damage charts, like above and beyond, you know, like. If you like start like releasing more raids after next Ramus, like wouldn't that just exacerbate that issue? You know, like warriors would be like doing like double of like a warlock or a mage or something or a rogue. Just keep getting like worse and worse. I moved again. I think that's actually really good. Yeah, we're good. And of course, you know, you'd have like have to balance it. You know, like nerf warriors, and then like obviously people would get pissed off about that. They're like, "This isn't classic. You're nerfing warriors." Blah blah blah. Just like it's hard to win. I don't know. The gaming industry, like in general, is like in a kind of a bad state. I don't know if it's just because like I was too young and like ignorant to notice like you know growing up. But like Netflix for example, just I didn't even know they had like a AAA gaming division. They never released anything. They shut down, and I was like, okay, that's like not really a huge deal because like you know a lot of those guys they get paid salary, so like they're you know they're getting paid for their time like working, like even if they never put out a product. I didn't think you like look into it. The people that they had like, working for them, and it's like they had the art director for like the new God of War game, and it's just like that's a phenomenal game. They had a game director for Overwatch 1, not Overwatch 2, which that's a big difference there. And then they had a writer for I can't think of what game that was, but like a AAA game. They had a writer for that, and it's just like they have three highly skilled people for the industry, you know, putting their work into projects that never see light of day, and it's just like that's sad, you know. I miss how Pig Simon could have worked for Ranger, but one of these things. I have no idea what you're talking about. Elixir of Heroes makes me think you're talking about Guild Wars 2 still. I don't remember Siamat. And I barely played Ranger. Yeah, so... yeah. A little bit past my Guild Wars 2 knowledge there. Another, you know, the other thing about, like, you know, the gaming industry now, it's like you look at stuff like Assassin's Creed, like the I think it's called Shadows, the new one, and like the mess of that game, because like Ubisoft like keeps saying like the dumbest shit ever, like blaming modern day gamers for like the failure of Star Wars Outlaws, and it's just like you look at that game, it's just like, bro, you guys like released a game that like runs like garbage, is like bugged out like to all hell, and is like, you know, basically a Star Wars coat on like a, from my understanding, like a pretty generic game. And it's just like you take off that Star Wars coat and that game would have failed miserably. And then it's just like, you know, on the new game, they're sitting there talking about the Assassin's Creed one, they're sitting there talking about taking away like the early access. And it's just like, there should never be an early access for a for any games, you know? like like early access for a single player game like makes 0 sense, you know? Like, it's hard to describe, but like if I bought like a, you know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla right now 2 years later, like the experience that I'm getting playing it 2 years later is the same experience that someone's playing it like on release day. Like early access is completely irrelevant, you know? And then like if you talk about early access for MMOs, like it's like literally pay to win at that point. You're paying extra money to play it earlier and you get ahead of the curve, you know, getting in-game items and farming gear to get more powerful, where people who aren't spending that extra money like don't have that opportunity. Like early access in both facets like should not exist. Like, so yeah, get rid of fucking early access on Assassin's Creed Shadow. Like, it's nice that you're actually like learning from a mistake finally. The other thing too, like, I mean, this is like a kind of more of a niche thing, but like, you know, early access for streamers, like if you're a variety streamer, like there's no such thing as early access. You have to get early access, because if you don't start streaming that game in the early access window and you're trying to be like a variety streamer, like no one's gonna watch your stream. Like your viewership will drop drastically playing like a brand new game a few days like later than like everyone else is playing it. So no one wins like in the case like early access? No one. And like a lot of it's like, you know, obviously they want pre-orders basically because they want like a judge for like their investors and everything to see how well their game's gonna sell. That's like the majority of it. That's also like why you see like all these companies like be like, oh, pre-order now and you get access to like the first DLC or something, you know? Or like pre-order now and you get like this fucking jacket, you know? Like that's the whole reason they do that. Yeah, it's the other thing, bug testing, like it's like, yeah, let me pay more money to have a vastly inferior experience. I'm generalizing, obviously, too. Like, there are, like, tons of companies that still, like, do put out good games, you know? And, like, don't have, like, all that bullshit. And a lot of it's, you know, these companies that they're tricking people into keeping up with inflation. Because, like, basically, like, a lot of these games, like, should have cost, like, a lot more money, you know? Like, Nintendo games used to cost $60, $50. And that was 30 years ago. You keep up with like inflation, those same games would be like $80, $90, $100. So like, yeah, instead of like, you know, but instead of charging like $90, they'll charge $60 for like the base game and then like $30 for a DLC pass. And it's just like, there's your $90 right there. I don't know. I really did enjoy Final Fantasy 16 though. I think that was like my most recent like AAA purchase that like I really enjoyed. Returnal was also like really cool. I don't know if that's technically AAA though. I think that was like a smaller company. It's just like it looked and felt like a AAA game. I don't know what it is with these fucking Hildetorrs, man, but yesterday was like even worse. Yesterday I got like, what? I think it was like 2 Hildetorrs and like a total like 4 hours. It was so bad. I do not remember that at all. But again, like I said, I never played like Ranger much. When you say like OG Ranger, do you mean like base game before like any expansions? Or do you mean like up to a while past End of Dragons? Hey, we got one. This is the one. Hopefully. Don't do it. No. Sorry, Clock Tower Joe, he dropped an orange box. I mean, I wouldn't call it a scam game yet. We're still well below parity. I mean, honestly, I'm just glad I've gotten two like in an hour and 40 minutes. You know? Like I said, like the yesterday, it was fucking rough. I got like two in like 4 hours. The other thing too is there are like other red boxes that we still need. Like on the clear, like to like the Hildetorrs. Also, I just realized the time. Whatever, we'll pipe for a while. Yeah, like the those red wolves, they drop an item we still need. Basically everything except these freaking moss. So I'm not fighting them. These guys can drop something. I can't remember like what right now. And these guys can drop Inferno Bazooka. And then the Rappies, not like the normal Rappies, but if we got lucky and got like the rare Rappie, they drop the red handgun, which I have, but I'd love a better one. So this can't be good. Yeah, once we get like the magic stone, like we won't do this quest for these guys. I'll switch to Central Dome Fire Swirl, and you guys will go crazy over Burning Rangers. Burning Rangers. Oops. Yo, what? Don't you dare, Alicia. Well, a little anticlimactic, but that would have been awesome as hell if we would have dropped it. It's not really worthwhile for me to clear and start piping again because I will be going AFK pretty soon here. So I'll be back like in an hour. With more Hildetorrs piping.